Hello and welcome back. This is Joanna the Medium. These are going to be readings for the month of December 2016, general readings, and they will apply to your sun, moon, and rising signs. I do have a bit of an announcement at the end of this intro, so if you want to fast forward, go ahead, but it is at the end of the intro, so don't miss it. December is a month of a lot of culminations. And though December is the last month of the year, so culminations and looking back is typically what we do. But there seems to be a lot of energies with most of the readings I've done for December 2016, where there seems to be a lot of looking back, a lot of contemplating, a lot of determining what to leave behind and what to take forward to the new year 2017. Of course, as always, I am so grateful for all of you, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, and for commenting. I read every single one of your comments. What I would suggest, if you would like to have a private session, please do not leave me a message on YouTube or comment on YouTube as to how to book a session or to book it, because I don't get to those messages in time, and oftentimes I will stumble upon a message from someone who wants to book, but weeks have passed by and I didn't even notice the message there. So if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you, and it's also on my website, which is fairly easy to do, very easy to do, and I'm including all that information for you down below. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else, and yes, so in January, aside from my regular general readings, I will be recording additional readings for purchase for minimal amount through Vimeo. It's something that I have been prompted to do for quite some time, but I've been sitting on it, and it's now time with New Year. I'm being pushed really to do this. These will be either readings for the first 3 months of 2017 or for the first 6 months of 2017. So if I don't post them at the beginning of January together with my general readings, they will be posted slightly later. I may just not have enough time to record all of them to be posted at the same time, but they should be posted towards the middle of January at the latest. And I will post an additional video just to let you know that these are posted, and I will post all those links below as well for easy reach for you. And I think that's all I have. Of course, this is a Christmas season, holiday season. I wish you all the best. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate or not. I wish you safe and happy Christmas. And I look forward to seeing you in January. And without further ado, let's go to the readings. See you in a moment. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Virgo. I do have 3 cards face down as always, and I will start off with a message first, and let's see what we've got for the month of December 2016. Movement in the way you live, or adjustment to your living space or your living situation. Okay? There is a move on the way, and this is a move of residence. I am seeing the number 28. Maybe some of you are moving on the 28th of December, or you moved on the 28th of November. I am recording this 3rd week of November, so I am catching a bit of energetic residue, if you will, from November. Whatever this move is for you, I am seeing that it has financial connotation attached to it, meaning it is either going to be more money, it's going to cost you more money, or it's going to give you financial respite. It's going to give you more financial freedom. In other words, it's going to alleviate some financial burden. What I'm being shown is a thumbs up, and this being a good move. I also hear this from a grandmother figure, and then I hear the words Mary and then the words Helen, or some names that sound like Mary, Maria, Maria, or Helen, Helena, something with the letter H. It could also be that you have one of those names or names that sound like it. You have them as first or middle names if you do have a middle name. I also hear that spring is a brand new beginning for you, and this move is significant of your new beginnings down the road. I also hear that whatever these beginnings are, whatever these beginnings will be, are beginnings that you have been looking for, searching for, looking towards. For some of you, there is a job move, and this is the second sign today that's getting the same message. So there's a lot of movement happening, and I do feel that 2017 is a year of a lot of solidifying of things that we've done in 2016. But going back to you, the message is that it's important for you to understand that where you're going is only a stepping stone. So if you are moving residence because of rent, and the rent is more expensive, or you are moving because rent is too expensive, and your living quarters are maybe financially more appealing, but not appealing so much in other ways. What I'm being shown that this is only a step towards something more. In other words, it feels to be a temporary transitional move. Okay, because I'm seeing you hopping from one place, but then you're going on somewhere else. And again, spring of 2017, I checked the years, it is shown to me as a significant springboard for you in terms of financial freedom. That's the word that's being shown to me. Now, for some of you, you are contemplating going back to school. This can signify that you have decided to move in with your family because you are transitioning your career, or you want to better yourself as far as education to get a better career, and hence you are moving with your folks, for example, which hopefully will make it financially much more appealing for the time being. However, you may not feel that it's the ideal situation, but it is being shown that it is a transition. You are in a transition. You are in a process of transition. And whatever this transition is, it's funny because at the end of this transition, I'm seeing a loaf of bread. And I'm going, why loaf of bread? And why loaf of bread? I hear the word sustenance. I have to look that up. It's not a word that I use very often. Actually, I never use that word. I believe sustenance, it's something that nourishes you. So at the end of this journey that you're on, or the end of this transition, you will be able to sustain yourself, or sustenance, look up the word if you don't know. Sustenance is going to be the end result. And there seems to be a significant move up for you in, I heard month of July. So that is coming up, I believe. It's not past July. It's upcoming. But spring is more towards what I'm being drawn. Why July? Keep the month, the month of July kind of handy, because that's quite a ways away from December, and my readings are monthly. So, but for whatever reason, they felt they needed to mention this for you. Again, I hear the words, your grandmother is looking after you. And then I also heard father. So for some of you, you have a grandmother, and I'm being drawn to the name Helen, or a name that starts with an H, or has a prominent H in the name, first or last. For some of you, it's your grandmother that you were very close to. And for some of you, there is a father, but this grandmother is also connected to your father's side of the family. So it obviously won't fit with everybody, but for those of you who are meant to understand this, you'll get it right away. Again, I'm being shown a loaf of bread. So this is significant now of if you have a grandmother, particularly from your father's side, and she liked to bake, or she was known for breads or baking, breads, pastries, whatever, that seems to be somehow very significant with you. Or this would be the connection that you will understand. Something about your father was also very fond of her. So if you have a grandmother who's passed and your dad was very close with her, you will also understand that piece of information as a validation of who this is. I'm also being shown a sign of cross. This grandmother of yours, or grandmother figure, it could be a grandmother figure, someone who you thought of as a grandmother, which could be a great aunt, or maybe a neighbor, but you felt it was like a grandmother to you. There seems to be a bit of a religious background to her, meaning cross to me in this instance signifies a religious component. So she would have prayed to God in the, can I say, more traditional way than what we're doing right now. So that will also come in handy for you to recognize. I also get the name Mary or Maria. That seems to be popping in, and this is either a mother or a mother figure, not a grandmother, mother or mother figure, and name is Maria. So when I get a whole bunch of different names, and they do seem to come up more often these days, for some of you, you'll resonate with one person, and for some of you, you will resonate with another person. So this could be mother, grandmother, but I clearly heard Mary or Maria or Marcia, something that sounds like that. Now, I want to get back to this move, and we're at almost 10 minutes. Okay. I'm being asked to please tell you not to worry so much about the outcome. Okay. For those of you who are changing a place of residence, there seems to be a bit of a worry. And the worry feels the worry feels like it's to do with not understanding exactly where you're going to end up. So long-term vision seems to be the component of worry, but you're being asked to please stop worrying so much. And they're showing me the road is being smooth. Next year is when you start to see the significance of what this message is. Now, I always say this message will more often than not resonate towards the end of a particular month than at the beginning. So if it doesn't make sense to you at the beginning, oftentimes it won't. And I see that over and over again with your comments. Okay, so that's this piece. Now let's move on to the cards. So the first card represents information or situations that have contributed to your current challenge or situation. And we have the card called mental conflict, or a worry card. This is also a card of what I hear of contradictions, meaning there is opposing views, opposing choices, opposing situations, things that are needing to be made, decisions about, choices to be made, but I hear the word opposing views. So there is definitely some kind of mental conflict, or was mental conflict with regards to some of the decisions you are making or you made. And this can pertain to this move that we talked about, this transition, or it can pertain something else, and we will talk about that in 1 second. What I also hear is that whatever this conflict was with respect to the decision that you were making, it it doesn't feel to be an easy decision. It feels there's a lot of weight to it, there's a lot of significance to it, and a lot rides on this. That's what I'm being shown. So there's quite a substantial weight to this decision, and it doesn't feel like it was a small decision, and that's probably why you were conflicted. Okay, there are very definite process of looking at two very distinctly different situations, and there is trepidation of making that decision. So that's past. Current position or current situation is depicted by the card called moving on. However, it's in reverse. So this is the card. This is a mental card. Moving on is very much self-explanatory. It's moving away from a situation that doesn't serve you. See this darkness here? It's almost like it's a cloud, and the person is moving away from this darkness into light or greener pastures, as it's signified by the leaves. But what this gentleman is also doing, he's stepping to something that seems to be almost unknown, and that requires him to have trust. However, it is shown to me in reverse. So what this is saying to me is that there is quite a bit of resistance within you with whatever decision you are making or whatever decision you have made. If you are in a process of, if you have made a decision, interestingly, to move, okay? If you have made a decision to move, but you are, you're still unsure, there is a reluctance to move forward. Now, this reluctance feels to be stemming from the inability to see what's in front of you. So this gentleman, when he's stepping into this vastness of light, there doesn't seem to be any structures. It's just open space. And this is almost like his little spiritual compass that he is relying on in order to take him where he needs to go. But there's definitely a component of trust and faith in the process. But because it's in reverse, it is saying to me that there is considerable amount of resistance. I'm also being reminded that the first part of the message was talking about you not worrying so much that things are going to work out fine in the end. And again, the word sustenance is shown as the end result of this. So there's definitely trepidation going on. And whatever transition you are in, whatever move, physical or emotional or mental, you are in the process of, it is definitely rooted in worries and in conflict. I also feel for some of you, there is a difficulty of letting go of some situation or someone. I also hear the word unhealthy behavior. For some of you, there is a difficulty of letting go of some unhealthy behavior, ways of doing things, ways of being in a certain way, ways of looking at the world in a certain way. You are being reminded that you are in transition. And from what I see in the readings I do in personal sessions, one-on-one, private sessions, and with videos, there is a lot of commotion right now, a lot of transitions. And again, 2017 seems to bring a brand new energy. I hear the words fresh breath of air. Breath, yeah, fresh breath of air. Fresh air, breath of air, fresh breath. You understand? There is newness with 2017, much more than just because it's a new year. The energy of 2017 feels fresh and it feels very welcoming. So for many of us, and looks like you included, you are leaving something or are in a process of leaving something that is no longer serving you, but you're having a hard time of letting it go. The only thing that I will say that is being said here is trust the process. It is probably the most important aspect or key here in this part of your life. Trust the process. If the road feels bumpy, and I can feel that it is, trust the process. You just need to get through this little situation that feels like not very good. And I also hear the words of reassurance. You will be okay, and this will be okay. For some of you, it's struggle with finances, and December, holidays, we spend money. There are some worries about that naturally for many of us. So, but you're being urged to please keep going where you're going and trust the process. The next card is an advice card. That's what he's asking me to use it as. And the card is called Awareness. Major Arcana. 1 is number of new beginnings. In a traditional tarot deck, this card is called the Magician. What does Magician do? Magician creates. Magician in a tarot card is depicted as an archetype of someone who is able to manipulate energy in a way that makes their life fruitful and peaceful. So the advice is this: use this time of your life as an opportunity to create something new for yourself and also maybe for your family. Okay? This, as much as this is a time of endings, it is also a time of new beginnings. And I hear the word prosperous beginnings. And I see this as you seeing it physically with your eyes in 2017. The word March comes up. So again, it's spring. You are in a process of letting go. And it is hard. I can feel it's like pulling teeth. But you are being urged to look at this as a new beginning rather than things ending. Now, is it easy? No. Is it possible? Yes. And with awareness comes the opportunity to decide and feel like you have choices, okay? By being aware and by allowing yourself to look at this situation as a new beginning, you will open yourself up more to the process, which means you will also resist the process much less. And sometimes we have to go through ordeals that don't seem very easy. I know it sucks. The more we resist, the more it will persist. Sometimes we just have to move through a certain part of our life in order to experience it through our soul, or our soul wants to experience it. No amount of struggle is going to stop that process. What is going to make it more difficult is the tremendous amount of resistance. So if you can just tell yourself, whatever it is that you're going through, if you can just tell yourself, I'm going to choose to look at this as a new beginning, because it is about how we look at things. You will see the beginnings of the end. You'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you will start to see the beginnings in front of you more so than endings. And then I hear the word, be brave, it's only a beginning. Not that it's only a beginning of something bad, but it's only a beginning of something good. As a matter of fact, I hear the word magnificent. For some of you who this is going to make sense, I feel that you are being stripped of the old ways of being, feeling, thinking. relating to the world and to people. It's almost like the universe is stripping you of everything that you have been in order to show you who you are and who you can be in a much more joyful way. So it's interesting because he's saying to me, December is a month where we're coming to an end of a year. So December is a month of endings. We let go of the old and we're going to welcome the new 2017. And it's almost, what's beautiful that if you're going through these changes, as you enter the beginning of new year, the old ways are being stripped away from you as to prepare you for the new energy that will enter your life in 2017. And again, March is being signified again. So March seems to be a highlighted month for you. Certainly spring, for some of you July, but not very many. Certainly spring is a new beginning for you as well. I hope this made sense. I wish you wonderful season and holidays and Christmas if that's what you celebrate. Thank you again so much for watching, for liking, for sharing. Thank you for all your comments. If you wish to comment, I read them all. Thank you so much. And stay brave, stay on track, be good to yourself, take care of yourself. And I will see you again in January. Thank you so much. Bye.